Hi, this is Group 4PF, and I'm Colbe,
I'm Oliver.
And I'm Krishna.
and this is our project, the Lorax.
So we've created an application to explore and contribute to climate change data, which is used by governments, researchers, activists, or anyone who wants to educate themselves. And our UI allows access to a database of the climate change trends, industries, locations by continent, country, and city. And it exposes an extensive catalog of adaptation techniques, mitigation techniques, energy generation methods, and even individual citizens. So for the activist page, this is a review of the GET requests available. This gets all the cities, this gets all of the continents, gets a specific city, gets countries in a continent, gets the cities in a country, gets all the industries, gets a specific industry, and this gets industry names. So it just displays all the industries and the relevant attributes that you want to see. And here in this tab, you can search for specific industries. So for example, apparel, and it can show you there's one entry for the apparel industry in China. So similarly in the bottom, you can see all the cities here and their relevant attributes. And you can search for cities here, for example. You can select your continent, country, and then you can select a city, and it'll populate the table with that city. Okay, this is the dictatorship page. This is the delete request to delete a person. This is the pull request to find a person. This is the get request to get a person. This is the pull request to reward a person. Here's the page itself. You can search for someone by their ID, for example. Okay, so it's Deborah. We could reward her any amount, which adds to her income. So like, I don't know, reward. You can see it increase there, or we could also fine her. And you'll see a decrease there. And then we can terminate her. So terminate, and she's gone from the table.
For the researchers page, we have post request routes for adaptation techniques, climate change trends, mitigation techniques, and radiative forcing. Trends form where we can input the year, temperature, air quality, sea level. And if we submit this, we can see that it's reflected into the database. Here we have the mitigation techniques form where we can input the mitigation ID, radiative forcing mitigated per dollar, and the mitigation type. If we submit this, we can see that it's reflected into the database. Here we can see the adaptation techniques form where we can input the adaptation ID, adaptation techniques, estimated lives saved per dollar, estimated dollars saved per dollar. And if we submit this, we can see that it gets reflected into the database. We have the radiative forcing form where we can input the radiative forcing ID, the year, carbon dioxide, other greenhouse gases, ozone, surface albedo, contrails, aerosol radiation interaction, stratospheric water from CH4, solar irradiance. If you submit this, we can see that it's reflected into the data. We've also made a researchers charts page where we can see the sea level per year, estimated lives saved per USD, radiative forcing mitigated per dollar, and air quality per year. We have routes for air quality, emission saved, ESD, lives saved, and sea levels.
So this is the government's tab on our hub, and I made 3 different tabs, one for people, one for industries, and one for countries. And for this first tab, I have a table where if you select any country in the dropdown, it'll give you all the people from that country. And for the industries tab, it's the same thing, except it'll give you all the industries from that country. For the countries tab, it has all data from every country in the data set. And this air quality map gives you the air quality by continent. So for the people's tab, I also have a button that can add a person, and it brings me to a form. So I filled out the form, and I'm going to submit. And now it should have set that data into the database. And to check that, I created a route which would give me the data from a specific table that I input. And so this is the people's table and all the data from the people's table. And if I search for the person I just added, as you can see, Kevin Durant, age 33, is in this in the data set. So for the industries table or tab, I also have an add industry button, which gives me another form. And I've already put in the information. And so now when I submit it, it'll send that to the database. So if I look at the industry tables now, and I search for, this is the data I just added. So for my routes, I have 2 post routes, one that adds an industry, one that adds a person. This gets the air quality. This one gets all the country data. This gets all the people. This gets country as a label value pair, and this gets the industry or the industries based on the country. This gets the people based on the country.